whatever we really feel like talking about. It's a free for all day. It is a free for all day today. So I hope all of you have had a very good and relaxing Thanksgiving. I know a lot of times spending Thanksgiving with family is far from relaxing. I know. I think last year my method for dealing with family Thanksgiving was a handful of CBD gummy bears and several shots of bourbon, and I got right through it. So this year was.
Well, I started mine out at 11 o'clock on Thursday with some shots of Jack. So I completely understand
to do it the right way. You know, a few whiskey sours and some beers thrown in, and you're good.
But mine wasn't that bad. Family came in; they were all not a bunch of jerks. So
yeah, we really had a good time this Thanksgiving. It's probably been, the time we spent with family on Thanksgiving has probably been some of the best that I've had in about 5 years. So, 6-7 years now. So it was really good. We really enjoyed it. So so how does yours usually go? Do you
usually Thanksgiving we do here. My dad comes over, my stepmom comes up, and then my wife's mother comes up out of Atlanta. So we typically do it all here, and then Christmas we go to the various families.
Right. Yeah, we go over to my brother's, and we've been doing that for a little while. And of course, as you walk through, you start seeing some of the like remodeling projects that people have got going on. He's got several going on, so it's like you look at that. Oh man, I want to do that with my bathroom. I want to put that kind of shower in, and you see some good little examples of what you want to do. So that's always fun.
That is going. My brother-in-law is the same way down there. They just built a brand new house, and I walk in. I'm like, ooh, this. I want this. I want that. You've got heated floors. Why don't I have heated floors?
Right.
So
right. Or then you go in and look at. Oh no, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done. Some things you go in.
I wouldn't put that bathroom there.
Yeah, some things you go in, you feel better about your decision making than theirs. But I tell you what, everything that he had done this year was, spectacular. And so then you see little other things that they're going to be doing. It's it's good to see, and that they're going down the right path on stuff like that. Yeah. So do you run into anything like that? As far as seeing any home improvement projects that some of your.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not this year. Like I said, we haven't went out except we go down for Christmas to everyone else's house. We do all our stuff here. So I haven't seen anything exciting from my family.
Yeah.
They get kind of lazy this time of year.
Right. You walk into that one house that hadn't been redecorated since the 1980s.
Which would be mine.
So what'd you end up doing after?
We went to Lookout Valley to Walmart and did a little Black Friday shopping. That was really it.
Any assaults?
No assaults.
No?
Just some insults of intelligence and stuff like that. That's about it. But no assaults on anybody.
Nice.
Chattanooga PD was in full force.
Yeah, there were quite a few out at Walmart. We were insane enough to go out, during the Walmart Black Friday just to get a few things, but it really wasn't that bad at the one in Hickson.
No, it wasn't that bad at Lookout Valley. The only excitement I had at all on Thanksgiving was we was walking out to the car and I heard East Ridge PD go by and I was like, oh, excitement. And then I looked over the ridge and there was a little smoke coming up.
Oh no.
So I was like, oh, someone's burnt a turkey. Someone has deep fried a turkey.
Yeah.
So we all load up in the car because we got to go that way anyways to get out the subdivision. And we drive by. You remember those home entertainment centers that had the rear projection TV?
Yeah.
The big, gigantic.
Yeah.
It was on fire. Out in the yard.
On fire
in the yard.
Okay.
So we don't know if some of the little neighborhood snots went over and torched it, or they were trying to watch a football game and it caught on fire when they plugged it up. We don't know.
And then they just wheeled it outside.
No, it was already outside.
Oh, it was already outside. They were trying to do an outside entertainment, that kind of thing.
So that was the excitement of my day.
Yeah, we didn't really see much as far as excitement wise. We did hear about when my daughter was out at the Walmart in Brainerd, or she heard about something at the Walmart in Brainerd where a woman was trying to get a TV and somebody else decided that they should have the TV, and after that happened, the woman just got cracked in the jaw and ended up with no TV. So
I can imagine that being Remember Friday. It's my TV, fool.
Yeah.
It's my chain.
Right, exactly. So after that, we went to on Saturday morning, and this is the one Black Friday shopping thing that I really enjoy, and also my wife really enjoys too, and that's going to Home Depot. Standing out there, we thought it was open at 5. Woke up way too early to find out it was open at 6, and so we sat around
in line.
Huh?
You get a good spot in line?
Oh yeah, I mean we had a good spot in line, but there's not a huge line at Home Depot anyway.
That's true.
And they've always got plenty of stuff, but that's where we went in and started really, buying a lot of stuff for the company, investing in that.
Abusing that Home Depot line of credit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so we went in and found some good stuff. And so with that, we were thinking about for the show today, talking about, say if you're a homeowner and you've got you want to get a loadout of tools, what are some of the things that maybe you should be looking at? And what things can you probably still find on a pretty good deal right now?
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of different things around the holidays. Once again, you start going over to a family's house, you see that they've remodeled a little bit. Maybe you start thinking about a remodel for the next year. If you're not going to hire somebody like Chattanooga Paint Pros and Remodeling to do it, or, if you're going to do it yourself, what are some of the things that you might want to get? What is the way you can spend the least amount of money to get a good quality set of tools that you might need to be able to get those things handled?
Right.
And of course, also, we spent time this weekend putting up Christmas lights. Not everybody's got, either the amount of ladders they need or even the room to be able to store any big ladders. And one thing we ran across over at Lowe's were the Little Giant collapsible ladders. And those things are worth their weight in gold.
That's what I've heard.
And especially right now, I think it's $86. They've got a 17-foot collapsible ladder. But the nice thing about this one is, living in this area, setting up a ladder outside your house, how many of us have perfectly flat ground right in front of the house?
Not me.
So, we live over in Hickson on the ridge. It's a definite steep slope running all the way down the front of the house. So these new Little Giant ladders have a ratcheting legs. So they'll actually, you can extend the length of the ladder on one side or the other or both out 7 inches. So it'll actually level the ground off. And they're like $89. They've got a huge stack of them still over at Lowe's. And that's going to be something that...
Is it the one in Lowe's and Hickson? Or?
At the Lowe's and Hickson, I know they have it, but I'm sure they've got it at a lot of others. And I bet you can probably get it online.
Probably.
That ladder is probably $136, $140. So if you're looking for something that could be a good investment for work around your house, maybe putting up Christmas lights, we recommend, if you're going to do it from on the ladder. Don't get on the roof. Getting toward the edge of the roof, leaning over, that could be a bad idea. There's, hundreds of people that get hurt every year.
Yep.
And unfortunately, a lot of people get killed putting up Christmas lights. If that's something that you're interested in having done, but maybe you're older or you're just not comfortable on a roof, that's something, calling somebody like Chattanooga Roofing Contractors can actually go out and put up lights for you, because you might not be, if you're not comfortable on a roof, you need to stay off of it. The getting off the ladder and onto the roof, some people don't have a problem with that, but then they find out when they want to go from the roof back to the ladder.
That's where my hang up gets.
That's where everybody freezes, and it's awkward. You don't really know what to do first. Where do you put your hand? Where do you, and that's where people end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
So, but having a ladder like that you can adjust to make sure that everything's perfectly level, that's going to be a way for you to be able to, put your Christmas lights up, be as safe as possible. We would recommend that if you are going to set a ladder up on your gutters to be able to do stuff like that, take you a bungee cord with you or a small piece of rope, tie it off at the top. That way, if anything does start to shift, that ladder is going to stay in place and you make sure that you're safe, because that's what we want people to do, is make sure you're safe.
Or call a friend or family member and have them to supervise you.
Right. Always have somebody there to make sure that the ladder's not moving. Have somebody hold the base of the ladder. The other thing too is when you set it up, it needs to be close to, have it closer to a 45-degree angle. Don't have it too straight up and down, because in that case also you can run into some problems. Make sure the ground underneath is cleared of any debris and it gets a good seat against the ground. So that way, you're not spending Christmas in traction instead of with your family.
Yes, my wife is an ER nurse, and the amount of people that come in from falls and stuff like that from this time of year, she'll talk about it from time to time. It's just, as you know, gets worse because we're doing Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm an average homeowner, what would you recommend? Just, and I'm kind of taking you off subjects a little bit. So, I like to hear the bus, but
it's the free for all.
That's right. So your average homeowner who isn't very handy savvy, what would you recommend just to have around the house as a good little tool set? What would you have in that set?
Okay. Well, one last thing on that ladder that we were talking about, that adjustable little giant ladder with the ratcheting feet that can help level out. Also, that's a good, and that would be part of what I would consider your tool set.
Okay.
Is, having that ladder also provides you with a step ladder as well. So it's a step ladder and an extendable ladder, all together, reach up to a total of 17 feet when it's extended out as a straight ladder. So that would be one that I would recommend, because what we want is multifunctionality. You want things that can do multiple things at the same time. But just as a basic tool set, if we're talking power tools, I would go with something like the multi-tool battery pack sets. The battery pack sets, like with Rigid or Milwaukee or even Ryobi or something like that, where you've got a drill driver, an impact driver, and if you get the bigger sets, as far as the ones with a skill saw, or a circular saw, a reciprocating saw, and a flashlight, those are going to be some of the ones that are going to be the best bang for your buck. A lot of these are going to come with 4 amp hour batteries, so you're not going to be changing batteries all the time. They also come with a charger and usually come with 2 batteries. And the reason why I say that is because, the drill and the impact driver, anything you need as far as running screws, drilling holes, those kind of things. The circular saw, everybody needs to have one, as far as cutting any kind of straight lines. And then the reciprocating saw is really good for any type of demolition, cutting anything out. And of course, having a good backup flashlight. Some of these, battery powered LED flashlights really put out a lot of light.
Yes, they do. Yes,
so that would be what I would recommend. Now, if we're talking brands, my favorite brand, it would have to be Rigid. Those are the ones that are sold by the Home Depot. They're orange, says Rigid on the side of them. They have, the nice thing about them is they have a lifetime service agreement with them. So if anything goes wrong with it, say you buy one of the Gen 4s that have actual brushes inside them. If those go bad, you can send that back to Home Depot and they will either repair it or replace it.
Well, anything with a lifetime warranty like that is great to have.
Right. And they're the only ones that really have a warranty like that. I think for contractors, they work well. That's what we use in all our businesses are the Rigid tools, because, if they go bad, something happens to them, we buy multiples, we take one back, we still have others to work with, and then they get repaired. For a homeowner, if something's going wrong with them, just take them down to the Home Depot. They'll, turn them in, but you've got to register your warranty. And you'd be surprised at the number of people who buy those things and they don't register their warranties. We were actually in there a couple days ago, and the rep from Rigid was in there. We were in there looking at a compressor, and this guy comes in and he goes, those Rigid tools, man, they're a bunch of crap. And he goes, well, explain, why? Well, I got that compressor back and it just started falling apart. And the guy said, well, did you register your warranty? Because if you register your warranty, just bring it back and we'll go ahead and we'll get it replaced. I ain't got time to be registering warranties. I just want to have a tool that works. Well, that's idiotic. I mean, it
takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, it takes 5 minutes. It literally just get onto the computer and type in the serial number on it, and you're registered. And so now this guy spent $200 on a compressor, and now he has no compressor. No brand is going to be absolutely 100% bomb proof.
No.
Everybody's going to have these things are put together by humans. You're going to have human problems, that's just part of it that's built into every tool, no matter who you use. So I would say, going with the Rigid tools are probably some of the best, the ones that we recommend, because you really do have a good service agreement with it that you can have those things replaced. And then you can start building from there, because you have the base units, you have the batteries. And then if you go in and you find that you want to get an oscillating tool, like a multi-tool, the ones that they're kind of long, cylindrical, and they have
it's Saturday.
Yeah, I know you can't speak very well today. So they have the different cutting blades for being able to handle a lot of different things like that. Cutting underneath, cutting out drywall, cutting underneath door jambs when you want to replace flooring, those kind of things. You can just add those to it. And a lot of those tools are less than $100 or at the $100 range for just the tool itself. Right now, also over at the Home Depot, if you want to go in and buy that multi-tool set, they've got a couple different ones. They have a Gen 5, which a lot of those are the brushless tools, and they have a little bit more power, and they're a lot sturdier, so you won't be replacing them as often or sending them back for repair. The ones they do have another one that has a bigger tool set for a little bit more money, but they're some of the older tools. You still get the warranty on them, but you get things like a little job site radio, and you can add more batteries to it. So, but the ones that we got were the ones that are around the $299 range, and it comes with the drill driver, impact driver,
and that impact too. I mean, if you have a flat, that would be great.
Well, now that's an impact drill. We're talking about the small impact driver.
Okay.
And yes, those things are great. And that's on our purchase list to be able to have one as a backup. But the impact driver, you've seen the ones that just shoot in the screws. But
like a hammer drill.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a very small one, and that's pretty much all they do is they just it gives a little slight impact as the screw is driving in. That way you can drive in a screw into heavier wood, and it doesn't bog the drill down.
Okay. So
that would probably be where I'd start with. Other brands, if we didn't go with Rigid, we would probably be going with Milwaukee. Milwaukee is the tool. It's all red. Most of their tools are all red. And they've got one of the best warranties out there. They've got a 5-year warranty, I believe, after that. And there's certain places that if you buy them here in town, I believe Atlas Bolt does this. I don't know if they only do it for contractors, but if you have, say anything goes wrong with the tool, they'll loan you that one and then they'll have it repaired themselves. So, but I think you pay a little bit more for that than what you do in the store. But that would be just the base loadout, and then there's other specialty tools that you can start getting.
Well, as you know, though, anything quality, you're going to pay a little more money for.
You are.
You can't expect to go to, the big box retail and pick up a $34 drill and expect it to last forever.
Well, you can do that. I mean, you can do that all day long over at over at Harbor Freight, but you go in knowing that those are disposable.
Yes.
And you just, once that wears out,
you go in and get another one.
Go in and get another one. So,
but you want something that's going to last a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. That just saves you trips to be able to get those repaired. So, but, we're coming up on a hard break right now. So, we will come back and start talking a little bit more about different tool sets, things that you can have around the house, ideas for some remodels and things like that.
And I got a question. Winterization for the house.
Yeah,
something I was going to talk to you about too. So.
That'd be great. All right, join us back after the break and we'll answer those questions.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
The Tri-County Fire Department responding to a fire at an apartment building in Collegedale on Thanksgiving. Reports say a microwave oven burst into flames on the third floor of the apartment building. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Definitely not the best way to start a Thanksgiving. Thousands of people turned out for the Grateful Gobbler Walk Run, the annual event Thanksgiving morning in Coolidge Park. Race co-director Betsy McCright told WTVC that all proceeds go toward the McClellan Shelter for Families, which provides meals and job training to homeless families. The yearly goal of the event is to raise more than $200,000. And Judge Barry Steelman says voter turnout was unprecedented in the midterms. Says over 130,000 people showed up to vote in Hamilton County for the early vote and over 190,000 the day of voting. Steelman said his office had a supply of extra ballots just in case the county ran out. Val St. John for Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News Now.
Hey, Jason, you ever have one of those days? You know the kind I mean. The one where your phone rings off the hook all day. You're late to everything and you just feel like nothing is working.
Yeah, I really do.
I think I may have found us a solution.
Really?
I'm telling you, I found it.
All right. Well, tell me, what is it?
It's called Schedule Butler. They're a company who gives you your very own personal assistant.
Really? My own personal assistant?
Yup. Your butler is trained in every way to integrate into your business seamlessly.
Wait, you mean our clients will get the same person every time they call?
Yep, they will. And they return messages the same day. And here's the best part. They schedule all of our appointments for us, freeing us up to do what we do best.
Sign me up.
I know, right? I think that's what they call working smart.
Well, how do I find them, Jen?
All you need to do is go to schedulebutler.com and it tells you everything you need to know.
Schedulebutler.com? I'm going to look them up right now.
Me too. Schedule Butler. Your schedule is served.
When it comes to family, I leave nothing to chance, including our financial future. I go to Michael Levy. He's local, takes time to know me, and helps me plan for our future. Don't put your financial future on hold. Call Michael Levy, 779-7755.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts. Like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge. Or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough? That's the day you decide to retire. At least that's the hope, right? But will you be able to retire? Can you afford to retire? That's why you need to talk to Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial. They can't do anything about Cody, that moron who heats up fish in the microwave, but they can strategize with you on how to get the most out of your 401k or pension, how to grow your money without losing your shirt in the market, and how to help make your money last in retirement. Talk to Ron and Christy today about whether you'll be ready to retire when you finally had it with seeing Ethan walk out of the bathroom again without washing his hands. Gross. Call Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial, 423-710-2009, 423-710-2009.
Now, Rick wants you to buy on U.S. Gold American coins. Are you tired of making 1% on your investments with the banks, even 2 or 3% at best? Now, Rick wants you to buy on U.S. Gold American coins.
Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, Brainerd Road.
Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way, the Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've got you covered 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Crying out for your afternoon. Clouds will slowly decrease as well. High temperatures settling into the upper 50s. Tonight, fair, chilly lows near 40. For Sunday morning sunshine, a mild afternoon near 65 with late clouds. A few showers tomorrow night, turning colder for Monday. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Swarm Machine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Nuga Radio 92.7. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.
Nuga Radio 92.7 FM. We are here with Jason in the studio, just kind of kicking back a little bit, not really discussing anything too heavy with any type of experts in the field. We're just talking with the layman and answering any questions that you might have concerning your home. I'm Scott Schrader, the owner of Chattanooga Roofing Contractors and also Chattanooga Paint and Remodeling Pros. If you have any questions for us, please give us a call in the studio, 800-8949. That's 423-800-8949. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions. And also, if you have anything to send in over Facebook Live, you can look at our Nuga Radio 92.7 FM Facebook page and be able to follow us there and watch us here in the studio. So we had a question come in right before the break, and you said that was what about
winterization?
So the big things about winterization would be definitely your outlets. I mean, your faucets that are outside. Definitely want to put some covers over those. They're very cheap. They're just, styrofoam, usually have a weather seal at the base of them. It'll have something that fits over the nozzle of the faucet, tightens up, and then just holds on there. Worst comes to worst, you can take old T-shirts, wrap around them, and duct tape them. You just want something that's going to provide an air barrier that'll let the natural heat that's in the pipe keep it just above freezing. Because what can happen is if it freezes inside that faucet, if it doesn't bust the pipe, it's going to spread the valves in there a little bit and allow a constant leak as things start to thaw out. But the biggest problem is that people won't cover those up. And then the other thing they don't do is they don't cover the vents that lead underneath the foundation vents, which allows the temperature underneath the house to get just as cold as outside. And then you have a pipe burst, and then that's going to be a big problem. The other thing that you can do is you can replace those pipes, those faucets, with a type of faucet valve that actually runs back in underneath the house, and it doesn't allow the water to run all the way out to the valve. It shuts off back several inches back behind the wall. And then that provides a little bit of a buffer area where, getting the water will conduct the cold a lot better than the air will. So once that gets in there, and if you've got copper pipes or even worse, galvanized pipes, those things can bust and can cause some really, really bad problems. So you definitely want to make sure that happens. Also underneath, if you've got bare pipes underneath your house, go ahead and just buy that cheap black insulation foam and make sure that that's that's been applied to those pipes.
Right. I was going to say that black insulation foam is what I use. My, for some reason, whoever installed my outdoor faucet, it's about 6 inches, 7 inches away from the house.
Oh, really?
So those, it's got that, the cover you were talking about doesn't fit.
No.
So I have to get one of those black, like a pool noodle, pretty much is what they are.
I would probably, if I were you, I would go ahead and wrap that with several layers of, some other type of insulation, whether it put the black foam on and then go ahead and put something else around it too, just so you've got some extra protection,
like a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, just something just something really thick to allow the air to be able to stay around it. Problem with doing a t-shirt sometimes is they'll get wet, and then that's going to conduct a little bit better. So I would definitely look at having that replaced. And when you do have that replaced, have it fixed, you can actually buy those valves that you can see them in the hardware store, where you have typical faucet valve is going to be 5 inches long at the most. These can be 12, 14 inches of pipe that run back inside the house. And then when that valve turns, the valve is actually back at the far end instead of out by the faucet.
Okay.
And that helps with that. But the other thing is, once you've done that, seal off those foundation vents.
I was going to say, what's the best way to seal those off?
I mean, some people even do as little as cardboard, but I mean, you can buy foam insulation, and I believe they make little kits for those types of foundation vent holes, because they're pretty standard as far as size wise. But I just seal those off, and that'll be that can help.
And it also help keep your house a little bit warmer too.
Right. Yes.
You don't have that wind blowing right through the bottom and taking out any of the warmth that's coming up.
Right. Exactly. Now, if you go underneath your house and the crawl space is warm, you've got a hole in your ductwork. And that's something you definitely want to make sure that you have sealed up. A lot of times as it gets cold outside, you might have rodents that come underneath the house. They're looking for someplace warm. They find a small little hole in a vent pipe, in an air return somewhere, and they're going to try to get in there because that's warm. And that can, tear everything up. It can, cats will get in there, either to find someplace warm, or they'll be going after whatever else went in there first. And then you're going to start having allergens, coming through your vent work and all that. So definitely just go down, check, make sure it's all sealed up. A company like Assured Comfort Heat and Air can come in, and even if it's just the seams where your hard ductwork meets up, they can come in and seal those up with a mastic. But somebody like Assured Comfort Heat and Air, or somebody like Kim Ray over at Condition Air, those kind of people can come in and help seal that up. Because if you're paying to heat that air, you want it to go in the house and not in the crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
That's just pennies and quarters and all that just dumping underneath your house, and you don't want to have that.
Now, if you have older windows, that's where a lot of the exchange is.
Yes.
What do you recommend to do on those older windows to keep, if you can't afford any windows or whatever, if you're in a rental unit and, the landlord doesn't, see the value in doing it? What do you recommend?
Well, one, caulk and glazing. Window glazing, basically, once you put the glass in, and then, you'll put the glass in, and you're looking for something that'll seal up from the glass to the wood, or the glass to the vinyl. Usually the vinyl windows are already sealed up, and you don't have to worry about that because those are newer windows. But say if you have old windows, make sure all the glazing is in good condition. It's not cracked. None of it's falling out, because that's going to be open gaps where air can get in. And then also around the edges of the windows, make sure they're caulked. A tube of window caulk, that can help out greatly as far as sealing up. And then on the inside, they make the kits where you can come in. Basically, it's a plastic sheet that you can put up. You can tape that off, and then you use a hairdryer and it shrinks and seals tight. And then that way that can help add an extra air barrier in between your window and the inside of your house. And that can help out a lot as well.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest energy consumptions.
Right. Yeah. And then the other thing too is check to see how much insulation you have. If you go up in your attic and you've got 4 inches of insulation, that's no good. I mean, you need to have a pretty thick amount of insulation in there, a good 14 inches of insulation, at least, 6 to 9 inches of insulation. But, the higher you go with the amount of insulation, then that puts that barrier between your attic and your ceiling, and it's trapped air that's in there. And you want that because air is not a great transfer of energy, and especially if you don't have, if you've got those pockets of air that other air can't get to, that seals that out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So those built up fibers in there, lock that air barrier in, and it's hard to be able to make sure that, it's hard for that heat or lack of heat to transfer. And that's what you want to watch out for.
Okay. Now let's just say have a secondary house.
Yeah.
You don't use it for anything. It's your vacation house, or it's just a house that you have, relatives passed away or whatever. No one's in it. What would you recommend on the correct steps to make sure that house is fully winterized? So that way you don't have to worry about it, in addition to the stuff that we've talked about.
Okay. So those kind of things, I mean, you can just basically, if you're going to go in, say you've got a house that you had renters in and they've moved out. What I would recommend, the main thing that I would recommend doing is, one, don't turn the thermostat off, turn it down. Keeping it in the 50s, that'll definitely cut down the consumption of energy, but also keep things from being able to just freeze up. The other thing that I would do is recommend go ahead and turn the water off at the street, and then go to the lowest outlet the lowest fixture that you have. It might be a bathroom. It might be a faucet outside. Most of the time it will be a faucet outside that is the lowest. And I would open that up and let it run. What's going to happen is if there's no new water coming in, then, I would open your highest valve in the house and then open your lowest valve in the house. Opening the highest valve in the house will let air come in. Lowest valve will let the water go out. If there's no water in there, then there's no water to freeze, and then there's no risk of your pipes bursting.
And then also be sure to turn hot water heater off too.
Turn your hot water heater off, definitely. So those kind of things, you could do that. There's some extra steps that you can go through as far as, there's types of antifreeze that you can put into toilets, and then you seal those off. But a lot of times you see that going on with people that are going to sell a house. So those would be the different things that I would definitely look at doing. If you do have any questions on something like that, you can always give us a call over at Chattanooga Paint Pros, and we'd love to be able to help you out there. Also, if you have any questions you'd like to ask us here in the studio, you can give us a call at 423-800-8949. That's our studio line. And also you can contact us on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM on Facebook. We'd love to be able to answer any questions for you. So, getting back to the tools that we were talking about.
Yes.
So we were talking about different kits. Another one that's really popular is the Ryobi tools. One that are bright green. They sell those at Home Depot as well. Those are some good ones to be able to. They have a multitude of different things that you can get. Probably the widest array of battery powered tools that's out there. I mean, everything from, little shop vacs to radios to, just about anything you can think of. They even have weed eaters and those kind of things that you can look at. And the battery powered tools are really starting to take off. That's the majority of everything that's being sold now.
With the invention in the improvement of LiPro, lithium ion polymer batteries. Those things last longer. They're easier to charge. There's no, not like we have with the old NiCad and the earlier lithium ion batteries, and that's LiPro is moving to a lot of things now, cell phones, drones, the battery tools that we're talking about and everything else.
Yeah. Used to be you'd maybe be able to use one for, 15, 20 minutes, and then you had to go back and you had to charge it again. And, it might not have been enough time for your other battery to charge up in the process. And then, it gets frustrating. You have to have multiple chargers and multiple batteries. These things, man, they'll charge up fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then be able to, get back to work, and now they're even starting to do nailers, that are battery powered. There's battery powered framing nailers and finish nailers and brad nailers, that are all, even Ryobi has some that are pretty inexpensive. Rigid's come out with some. DeWalt has some. For the people that are in construction, DeWalt and DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Makita have been the dominant lines there for a while, and now Rigid has started to take over in those areas. But as far as that basic build out that we talked about for a toolkit, if you're just a homeowner and you're on a pretty tight budget, the Ryobi tools can be something good as well. So, but then after that, man, the things that you can start adding to it, and and most people, they get one thing and then they do a project, and then if you've been watching HGTV too much, you'll have these grandiose ideas of what all you can do, and you might be able to. And that's one great thing about the age we live in. It used to be that the knowledge it took to build a house, to wire a room, to do plumbing, all those kind of things, it was kind of closely held information, and you had to go apprentice under somebody to be able to figure out how to do that stuff, or you go to a trade school. But now now that's available on YouTube, and you can see step by step how to do these things. I mean, there's two old men that did a thing on just building a whole house, and it was, the level of detail, and even just the little tips on how to cut the lumber, how to lay things out. I mean, it was great. And if you had even just a small amount of knowledge already, you could take that and literally be able to frame out a house. And
wow.
So, we're getting to the point now where, the availability of information is something that's really going to change up how we get things done in this world.
Oh yeah. I, yesterday had to change the tag light out in my wife's Honda. And I was like, well, how the heck you get to this thing? Went to YouTube video,
right?
Took every bit of 10 minutes to change it out. Now those things, and Honda's really weird on how they put those up under the lift gate on those CRVs. I would have never thought you could just slide it right over and it pops out.
Yeah.
I was struggling with it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, now the way things are, there's a lot of times specialized tools, but you can rent those from places, and then be able to, go in and change out, injectors in a diesel truck that, normally would have cost you, $1,000 to do. And now you're able to get it done a lot cheaper, if you do it yourself. Now when you do that, you run the risk and you're going to have a lot more headaches, but if you're the type of person that wants to do things yourself, that you can learn how to do these things. And it's just incredible. And I think that's going to change a lot of the things the way we look at education. It used to be that in education, colleges were the way to go because they had the information. Well, now you're getting to the point where they're not the only available place for information. And a lot of times you'll get information that's skewed, whether that's from colleges or from YouTube or anything like that, information is always skewed by the person who's actually giving the information. So you've just got to be careful, but there's actually good quality information out there.
There is. And, from anything nowadays, almost.
Yeah. But, but then you get back into the thing of, okay, now I know how to do it. Do I want to do it? Do I want to hire a contractor? Because now I've got to go out and provide an income, earn a living, and then try to get all these other things done at the same time. And while you might know how to lay tile, you don't get good at it until you've done job after job after job after job. And if you're fine with it, if that's your forever home and you want to do those things yourself, then, you're more than welcome to. But if it's something where you're going to go in, you're going to sell that house in the next few years, you might want to have a professional help you out.
Oh, yeah. It's like you can watch a video to do tile, for an example, but I'm not that technical or that savvy to be able to do it. I also don't have time to do it. And that's a good reason to get a contractor. You know? And if there's anything that happens, they can go back and make the corrections easier than I can.
Right. And, let your wife yell at them, not you.
Right.
Yeah. So those kind of things are
happy
helpful.
Wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. I have learned that the hard way. So, so those kind of things are, some little tips that you guys can look at. If any of you have any questions about any other tips, any things about your house that you'd like to know, I might have the answers, or if I don't have the answers, I do have the people that can get you the answers. So we're coming up on another break here. We'll be coming back in the second hour. If there's anything that you'd like to talk about, feel free to call in. We can change the subject matter at any time. This is kind of a loose after holiday recovering from turkey weekend,
post turkey coma.
Right. And so we're just kind of hanging out, talking a little bit. Join us right back here, right after the break, right here on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
The Tri-County Fire Department responding to a fire at an apartment building in Collegedale on Thanksgiving. Reports say a microwave oven burst into flames on the third floor of the apartment building. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Definitely not the best way to start a Thanksgiving. Thousands of people turned out for the Grateful Gobbler Walk Run, the annual event Thanksgiving morning in Coolidge Park. Race co-director Betsy McCright told WTVC that all proceeds go toward the McClellan Shelter for Families, which provides meals and job training to homeless families. The yearly goal of the event is to raise more than $200,000. And Judge Barry Steelman says voter turnout was unprecedented in the midterms. Says over 130,000 people showed up to vote in Hamilton County for the early vote and over 190,000 the day of voting. Steelman said his office had a supply of extra ballots just in case the county ran out. Val St. John for Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Crying out for your afternoon. Clouds will slowly decrease as well. High temperatures settling into the upper 50s. Tonight, fair, chilly lows near 40. For Sunday morning sunshine, a mild afternoon near 65 with late clouds. A few showers tomorrow night, turning colder for Monday. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Swarm Machine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Call 423-875-3600 if you're looking to expand your professional look of your business. Then consider the vast opportunities that are available when you locate your office with the Rains Group family. Remember, it's location, location, location. And the Rains Group has the location for your professional office. Check out the spaces for lease at Executive Business Park on the Lee Highway. Small or large, we will build to suit your needs with the Rains Group. Call 423-875-3600 for the business professionals with the Rains Group.
Come see the Chattanooga Zoo transformed into a magical winter wonderland. Visit the animals and watch them open their gifts. Have your picture taken with Santa Claus, play holiday games and make crafts, or just enjoy the beauty of the zoo covered in lights at their annual Holiday Lights event every Friday and Saturday night in December, right up until December 22nd. It's the most wonderful time of year at the Chattanooga Zoo. For ticket pricing and information, go to chatzoo.com.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Hey, dude, check this out. Have you ever seen one so big?
Whoa, look at the size of that.
There's a little itty-bitty one.
Wow, that's really small.
They have them big, small, and everything in between. You'll always find the biggest variety of knives at the knife shop at Frost Cutlery in Ottawa. We're talking about over 40 brands of knives, including Benchmade, WR Case & Sons, Booker, and all the Frost Cutlery brands. Now, Sam, you've been to the cutlery shop. Is it amazing?
Spectacular. The knife shop at Frost Cutlery in Ottawa. They have knives, swords, kitchen knives, ammo, and reloading supplies, plus survival gear.
It's the knife
WPLZ HD4 Ottawa, W224AZ Chattanooga.
Serving Chattanooga.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe, the Tennessee Valley's most listened to news talk station.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Wendy Gillette. It's Shop Until You Drop for an estimated 164 million people this weekend. Today, the emphasis is on locally owned stores for Small Business Saturday.
I'm Tom Foti. As Black Friday gives way to today's Small Business Saturday, Unbranded Sunday, and Cyber Monday, the early numbers are starting to come in after the unofficial start of the Shop Till You Drop season.
While we may not get a 4% sales increase for total November, December, we should have at least a 3% increase, which will still be an all-time record because the consumer is still spending and the economy is still growing.
Retail analyst Bert Flickinger noting weather problems on the coast did drag down sales a bit. Tom Foti, CBS News.
The holiday shopping season is immensely important for retailers. The National Retail Federation expects this year's sales to increase around 4.8% over last year. That would be a healthy result, indicating optimism about the economy going into 2019. A major climate change report released by the White House the day after Thanksgiving. The National Climate Assessment warns that disasters, including wildfires and hurricanes, will worsen because of global warming. CBS News White House correspondent Weijia Jiang is in Florida, where President Trump is spending the holiday weekend. She has more on what some are saying about the report, including environmentalist Al Gore.
Former Vice President Gore said the president may try to hide the truth, but his own scientists and experts have made it as stark and clear as possible. He, along with many others, are also pointing to the timing of the report's release. He says the Trump administration is trying to bury the dire findings.
The report is required by law. Rain was helpful for firefighters in Northern California, but not for those trying to recover remains after the devastating wildfire there. CBS News correspondent Carter Evans is in Sacramento.
All of this rain mixing with all of that ash and soot from the fire. I mean, there were homes burning, cars burning. You imagine everything that's inside your home. That material is absolutely toxic. So when it rains, that stuff washes downstream, and it's certainly something you don't want to get on you. It's one reason they don't allow people back into evacuation zones, because they want to get that stuff under control, make sure it's safe for people to return.
State fire officials say the death toll stands at 84 from the wildfire, but hundreds remain missing. A protest in the streets of Paris. Thousands demonstrated and blocked roads over rising fuel taxes. French police used tear gas and water cannons to disperse the protesters. 18 people were detained. This is the 8th day of protests. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance. Pick from a range of coverage options with the Name Your Price tool to find a price that works for you. Find out more at progressive.com.
You'll love this. Macy's Black Friday Super Buys are back, and they're awesome. Find incredible savings on furniture, mattresses, and rugs. Lounge out on a Lodi or Bernata sofa, your choice, $399. Sleep in on a Monroe or Canyon Queen bed, your choice, $279. Or get a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases over $599. Hurry in for Black Friday furniture, mattress, and rug Super Buys now through November 24th at Macy's. Savings off regular prices, exclusions apply.
Shop Kohl's Cyber Doorbusters, Saturday and Sunday only, in-store and online. Take 10 to 50% off toys. Get the Fitbit Charge 3, $119.99. And a New Wave Air Fryer or Keurig Mini are just $79.99. Plus, take an extra 20% off. Shop Cyber Doorbusters, Saturday and Sunday only at Kohl's. Select styles, 20% offer valid November 24th through 28th with promo code 20SAVINGS. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
This shopping weekend, maybe consider some retro television gifts. Here's Allison Keys.
Space, a final frontier.
Go where many have gone before and cough up the cash for memorabilia from Star Trek, the original series, of course. There are oven mitts with the Vulcan spread-fingered salute or a wine glass with the logo. There's also an ugly sweater reading Trek the Halls or
Thank you for being a friend.
If the Golden Girls were your poison, there are pest dispensers of the whole gang, a backpack featuring the entire cast of the NBC hit, or you can opt for Golden Girls branded Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, and Clue board games. Allison Keys, CBS News.
It looks like a European Union summit tomorrow could finally lead to a Brexit deal. Spain reached a deal with the EU on Gibraltar, making way for a potential deal. Negotiations were held throughout the night. The UK is set to divorce from the EU on March 29th. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A plea deal was given to a man accused in a Craigslist case. Catoosa County former Marine Michael Hardy took that plea deal. Prosecutors say that Hardy responded to Craigslist ads to meet up with minors for sex. Mr. Hardy's defense attorney said that his client only did it because of his PTSD. The arrest was part of an FBI sting operation where agents would pose as girls online. Chattanooga police are looking for a driver after a hit and run on Vine Street in Orchard Knob. It happened on Thanksgiving Day. The driver of the car was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but the driver of a truck sped away. Reports say cops are looking for a Dodge pickup truck with damage to its front. The crash was so bad that the victim's car was flipped over into a ditch. A former Coffee County Corrections officer is accused of assaulting an inmate he was supposed to oversee. Justin Taylor fired from the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office says there's no physical provocation. Russell Stroud, Chattanooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Trying out for your afternoon. Clouds will slowly decrease as well. High temperatures settling into the upper 50s. Tonight, fair, chilly lows near 40. For Sunday morning sunshine, a mild afternoon near 65 with late clouds. A few showers tomorrow night, turning colder for Monday. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Swarm Machine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Radio 92.7.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've got you covered 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
It's that time of year again for you and your family to create special Christmas memories aboard the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum's iconic North Pole Limited. These magical train rides have been festive family traditions since 1999. During this holiday season, why not bring your family to Grand Junction and enjoy the lights and sparkle aboard the North Pole Limited on an imaginary journey to the North Pole. Along the way, you'll be treated to refreshments, storytelling, Christmas carols, unique gifts, and lighted Christmas displays. And once the train pulls into the North Pole, a special visit from Santa. The 2018 season kicks off on November 17th with both day and nighttime rides through December 29th. To reserve your seats today or for more information, go online to tvrail.com or call 423-894-8028. The Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum would like to wish you and your family a very happy holiday season.
There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.
Welcome back, New Radio 92.7 FM. This is your host, Scott Schrader, Chattanooga Roofing Contractors. Joining us for the next hour in studio, the man, Jason Kirk. He is one of our, well, actually, you have multiple titles here at the station, but you actually do sales and actually operations and just the chief bottle washer. And
that's one-stop shop.
One-stop shop. I got you. So basically, we're just spending a Saturday after Thanksgiving. No big general direction that we're trying to go with this. Just talking about anything that anybody wants to talk about. I know one thing that you've kind of been interested in is man cave ideas.
Yes.
You guys were talking about that a little bit on the previous show on the sports show, and that always segues quite nicely. So what are some things that you have had on your to-do list when it comes to putting together a man cave?
That's a good question. Of course, you got to have the big TV.
Of course you have to have
You can't have a man cave without a big TV.
What's the point?
Right. But what's the ideal space of a man cave? I've got a back bedroom that we don't use for anything except for storage. I like to kick my wife's crap out of there and use it for myself.
Right.
But, we got to put in the big TV. But what else? A comfy couch?
Well, I mean, of course, you got to have the good couch. And, of course, you have to have the couch is for other people.
That's
you
right.
have to have your chair.
That's right.
Definitely your chair. They make some pretty cool things, that you can put into those kind of things as far as like kegerators, a refrigerator that actually just holds a keg, has a tap on the top of it. If you were going to do that, I would definitely recommend getting any of your libations from a place like Odd Story Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably they have to be my favorite brewery in town. Odd Story. Look them up. We're actually going to be having them on the show here probably in the next few weeks. We're going to come in and we're going to sample some good beers.
I will be here.
No, sorry, that is a limited availability engagement.
I will be there.
Whether we like it or
That's
not.
That's right. I'll crash it.
I understand. I would too. Yeah, they definitely have some really good stuff. And we got some things coming up as far as another show we've been kicking around, being able to go out to different breweries and sample some things and talk politics and things that my wife has told me I'm not allowed to talk on this show. I'm not allowed to mention anything political. So we have to, once you said happy wife, happy life, so I have to keep her happy on that. So I have to wear a wig and a fake mustache on top of my mustache to be able to do those kind of things. But
at the Regal Theater next to the new one they just redid not long ago, they have in there a Coke and Jack machine, and it comes out frozen. That's what you need in your man cave.
Yeah. No. Okay. Now say that to me again.
It's a frozen Coke and Jack machine.
Really?
Yes. So if you're going to have a man cave at all, that's one of the things you have to have.
Gotcha. If you can change that to a Coke and Knob Creek.
Actually, there's a few different options they have available.
Oh, really?
I don't know all the options. I grew up outside Lynchburg, so I have no choice but to like Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
But it was we went and seen Super Troopers 2 when it came out beginning of the year. And my buddy and myself, we walked in there and we saw it. And I was like, oh boy, you're going to drive home because I'm not going to be able to make it.
Yeah. So yeah, and that sounds like a good thing to have when you're watching Super Troopers too.
It was a funny movie.
Yeah, anything that those guys do is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, Broken Lizard has always done a lot of great funny stuff.
Yeah, it's either the Jack and Coke or something that's not quite legal in Tennessee.
Hey,
as of yet.
Hey,
but
no blood, no foul.
No blood, no foul. All right, so I mean, other things as far as a man cave. So I mean, here's what we got to look at when we're talking about doing man caves. What is your purpose, and how long are you going to be in that house?
That's true.
Because if you go in and you just go all out with a man cave, and you're doing just some major renovation to whatever that room is. I mean, paint is one thing. You can go back and you can repaint, but you know, you have some people that are wanting to do things like, I've seen a lot of people do some pretty cool things with pallet wood, you know, finding a whole bunch of old pallets and putting the cross pieces, on the wall, and those can look great.
Mm-hmm.
But then you go to sell the house and maybe you're selling it to a couple who is not interested in having a man cave at all. They've got, you know, more kids than what you have. They want to use that as a bedroom. Now you're looking at, you've devalued that space because now they think they're going to have to come in and do some major renovation to that room. So it's probably something that they're going to ask for a little bit of that money off of what you're asking for the house. So keep in mind, if it's a place that you only plan on being for 5 years, you might not want to do some major, renovations to that. You might not want to put the bar in. You might want to just use a bar cart. You might not want to put a big entertainment center built into the wall there. You might want to just make sure that you do something that can, you know, a mounting bracket on the wall that you can go in and make some changes to before you move out, because those are some things that people get this great idea and then they don't realize, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to be here for a long period of time. And now when they get ready to sell, they've got to go in and they've got to make some major changes. So that would be the only thing that I would recommend to really watch out for, is you want to be able to preserve it's your home and you want to be able to do what you want to with it.
That's right.
But also keep in mind of what's your long-term goal? Where are you going? Because I know everybody's goal is when they go to sell their house, they want to be able to get as much out of the house as possible. And so that way, when you do make these changes, they need to be things that will be as neutral to other people when you go to sell. So save yourself a lot of headache by getting the things you want, but without having to make major changes to it. Now, if you're going to stay there forever, go nuts. Go nuts, make it exactly what you want to make it. I mean, you know, we're putting together some ideas as far as for building a house, and I don't necessarily want a man cave. I want the old classic study.
Okay.
I want bookshelves on every wall. I want, you know, big desk, leather furniture, reading chair, all that. Now I can have my TV in there too, but I just like that classic style of, you know, you don't see a study anymore.
You don't.
You know, and that's what I really like. I mean, I might be the guy that wears, you know, t-shirt and boots and flannel shirts and all that. But in my head, you know, I'm that dapper individual, you know, that kind of thing. Now, it never works out because 5 kids and, you know, 4 businesses and all that. I mean, who has time for anything like that or money for it at all either? So, you know, but that's where in my head I want to go, you know, the classic automobile out in the driveway
would be different.
Yeah. You know, so those kind of things, you know, I kind of like, but yeah, you really don't see that kind of style anymore. And when you do see it, man, it's impressive, you know, when somebody has something like that. My wife's father was an attorney here in town, and he was an avid reader. So we had his book collection from that he had from when he passed. And so we went into the basement, and a huge 20-something foot wall, and then 3 feet out on either side. And, the thing is covered in books, and some of them as much as 2 deep,
Wow.
and that to me that's great. I love that, So if I can do that with the dark mahogany wood and the the big desk and the leather chair and all that stuff, that'd be awesome.
We'll just call it your study cave.
Yes, exactly. To me, that's classic, art of manliness kind of, thing. But at the same time, when we build a house, I want a blacksmith shop out in the backyard too, so it's.
And buy some pilgrims over.
Yeah, exactly. But those kind of things are being lost nowadays, it's like everything is in our, the classic, I guess the loss of the classic study or whatever in a house is kind of like, now it's the man cave and TV going constantly and all that, instead of, the
reading a good book,
now it's pounding shots instead of a good, classic, bourbon or something like that. We're getting more into this instant gratification society, instead of people learning how to do things from themselves. They just want it now, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing, but that kind of ties into one thing that you guys are promoting this weekend is Small Business Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know Sam's going to be out doing live remotes all day for small businesses.
He got the good end of this deal.
Yeah. So he gets to go different places. And where all is he going today? What are some of the places he's going to?
Rick Davis's. There is Ohana's, which is a new restaurant that's opened up on 58.
Oh, so he gets to go places and have food.
He gets to have Rico's out in Saudi. Yeah. Jerk.
How did he get that thing?
I don't know. I got bamboozled on this one.
And you got stuck here with me, and he gets to go eat good food.
Well, I'm in good company though.
Yeah. You have to say that. I'm bigger than you. So
he gets to go eat though, and I don't.
Right. Exactly. But you might be a fan of the modern age of being able to go on and go to Amazon and order whatever it is you want, and it's there in 2 days, and you save a lot of money on it. But keep in mind of this: supporting small businesses gives you options. It gives us all options. Now, I'm one of those people. I order stuff on Amazon all the time.
Yep.
And some of it is, that we need to make sure that we support small businesses more because, Jeff Bezos is trying to take the world over.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at some of the things that company does, I mean, they are going in and they're, we were having a discussion about antitrust, and, my mother-in-law's, well, how is he not, violating antitrust laws? And he's not. He's doing more supply chain buying. He'll buy that entire upline of a supply chain. So, he's not necessarily buying all the businesses across, going horizontally. He's going vertically,
going up.
But the other thing too is that he's doing some things, that business model is basically being able to provide things so cheap that other people just have to go out of business because they can't compete with it.
Well, if you just take what Amazon's done just recently, they've added an airline to do their own shipping.
Yeah.
And now if you look on the interstate, they've took FedEx and UPS a little bit more out of the equation between the facilities with their own trucking.
Right. Exactly.
So,
and then, you look at a company like diapers.com. Diapers.com was a lot of parents were buying diapers from there, getting good deals. So Amazon just went with the model of, all right, we'll sell diapers at a loss for a long enough time
and run them out
of business. And then they didn't do a hostile takeover. They just it was just, they forced them out of the market, and there's nothing against, no law against that. But at the same time, where do we go when Amazon is the only option? What are the consequences when that is the only option? And you might have small business owners that are out here and they have a certain product that they sell.
Right.
All right. And now they've decided to be able to sell more. They're going to go on Amazon. They're going to market that product on Amazon. Well, then Amazon is constantly watching which products are actually selling at a faster rate, which products are in demand. And then they'll take that product and they'll start selling it much cheaper than the person who put that on Amazon to be able to sell it in the first place.
Yep.
And then now there's a problem there. I mean, I think now they're selling lingerie. They're selling, they're selling everything.
Everything.
And so by you going out and supporting a small business owner, you keep the ability for companies to stay in business and to give you the option of being able to buy it at more places than just Amazon.
Yeah. Like example, I just bought something being delivered today from Amazon, a belt. I like those the loop belts.
Yes.
I can't find anywhere around here. And if there's anyone who has them here, I don't know about it. So I have to go to Amazon to purchase those. I would love to be able to buy that right here in Chattanooga.
Yes.
Keep that dollar here, keep that tax money here. But it's just kind of one of those things, we don't really know anymore what our local mom and pops have.
No.
Because we don't take the time to go in. We don't take the time to go, hey, look, this just opened up. Let's see what they have. We don't have the time to do that anymore.
Well, I mean, how many mom and pops are there out there anymore?
I think in Chattanooga, we're diverse enough to have quite a few.
Right.
We really do.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as what is your favorite mom and pop store?
For the record.
That you go purchase at on a regular basis.
For the record.
For the record.
Yep. Vinyl record store inside Northgate Mall.
Oh, that place was very crowded there the other day.
One of my favorite places in town.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else that's not just specialty items that you can think of?
Not here. Now, when I go home to Middle Tennessee, there's a department. Actually, we got one over in South Pittsburgh too called Hammers.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah.
But as far as here in Chattanooga, there's not really other than For the Record that I really, off the top of my head, go to.
Yeah. I mean, and you're looking at, we're just so overtaken by big chains. I mean, there's one grocery store in town, and I mean, it's still part of a chain, but it's probably one of my favorite grocery stores in town. That's the Pruitt's up on Signal Mountain. That place is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has the feel of the corner market, but a lot of very high end.
The Piggly Wiggly up there, or
it's right there across from where in that big shopping center that's up there. I don't know if that was
across from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a Pruitt. They're owned by Pruitt's now.
Okay.
But it might have been a Piggly Wiggly.
I think it was a pig back.
Yeah.
In the day.
Yeah. But so being able to find places where people are specializing, it's tough to do. I mean, you're really only finding that now in contractors or people like Jill Rogers that we had last week on the show with High Country Design, or those are the places where you're finding individuals that are going into business. There are going to be things where I don't think that technology is going to overtake anytime soon. You're not going to have a company come in and using technology go in and replumbing a house.
No,
you're not going to have a machine that's going to go out and do roofing.
Now, go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
No, I will say though, on the electronic side, because I come from a background of cell phone repair and stuff like that. Now, and because I still do that on the side, it's still one of the side businesses I still have. However, Amazon is now contracting out to people, not even people who've been vetted, to be able to do that. So you're getting these people
to do cell phone
repair. You can buy a screen on Amazon or a hard drive on Amazon. And now you can do professional install and to go to someone local who may or may not be vetted, who may or may not own a company. It's just whoever's went through their background program, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And then, we looked at doing it with mobile medics. But by the time we figured in what we would get paid for doing that from Amazon, wasn't worth the time to do.
Yeah.
So they're doing all of that front. So they could eventually bring it to plumbing. They could eventually bring it to things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things you kind of have to watch out for.
Well, but at the same time, it's kind of like what you're running into with Home Advisor. What are you actually getting? Because their vetting process is not very high. And it's all about making a profit and being the middleman.
Yep.
And so you run into that, with places like with Amazon, if they're offering services, is they're just taking a majority off of the profit just for being the person who is the middleman.
Yeah, we ran into it just for a basic screen repair. We'd only made, $15 to $20. Just not worth our time.
Yeah, I definitely would not. Would be the case.
Where that segment?
Yeah, I know that was really fast. So we're going to come back for our last segment here. We'll talk a little bit more about where we think the industry's going. And if you have any questions for us, please give us a call. The number in the studio, 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949. Give us a call.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
The Tri-County Fire Department responding to a fire at an apartment building in Collegedale on Thanksgiving. Reports say a microwave oven burst into flames on the third floor of the apartment building. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Definitely not the best way to start a Thanksgiving. Thousands of people turned out for the Grateful Gobbler Walk Run, the annual event Thanksgiving morning in Coolidge Park. Race co-director Betsy McCright told WTVC that all proceeds go toward the McClellan Shelter for Families, which provides meals and job training to homeless families. The yearly goal of the event is to raise more than $200,000. And Judge Barry Steelman says voter turnout was unprecedented in the midterms. It says over 130,000 people showed up to vote in Hamilton County for the early vote and over 190,000 the day of voting. Steelman said his office had a supply of extra ballots just in case the county ran out. Val St. John for Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Let's face it, Old Faithful isn't as faithful as it used to be. Constant repairs are a hassle and can rack up quick in money and time. Landers McClarty Ford can fix that. Right now, you can get a 2016 Ford Focus, 34,000 miles, only $11,491. A 2017 Chevy Spark with only 17,000 miles for less than $12,000. A 2015 Volkswagen Jetta with less than 21,000 miles for $11,991. Yeah, browse their entire inventory of new and new-to-you cars, trucks, and SUVs online at Landers McCarty Ford of FortPayne.com. Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. If you can't find your next perfect ride, they'll go find it for you. Big city selection, small town prices, friendly service, and top dollar for your trade. The savings are waiting and only a short drive away, so what are you waiting for? Get started with your personalized shopping today at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com. When it comes to family, I leave nothing to chance, including our financial future. I go to Michael Levy. He's local, takes time to know me, and helps me plan for our future. Don't put your financial future on hold. Call Michael Levy, 779-7755.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts. Like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge. Or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough? That's the day you decide to retire. At least that's the hope, right? But will you be able to retire? Can you afford to retire? That's why you need to talk to Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial. They can't do anything about Cody, that moron who heats up fish in the microwave, but they can strategize with you on how to get the most out of your 401k or pension, how to grow your money without losing your shirt in the market, and how to help make your money last in retirement. Talk to Ron and Christy today about whether you'll be ready to retire when you finally had it with seeing Ethan walk out of the bathroom again without washing his hands. Bro, close. Call Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial, 423-710-2009, 423-710-2009.
Now, Rick wants you to buy on U.S. Gold American coins. Are you tired of making 1% on your investments with the banks, even 2 or 3% at best? Now, Rick wants you to buy on U.S. Gold American coins.
Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, Brainerd Road.
Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need AMCO transmission and total car care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. AMCO transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet Way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've got you covered 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Trying out for your afternoon. Clouds will slowly decrease as well. High temperatures settling into the upper 50s. Tonight, fair, chilly lows near 40. For Sunday morning sunshine, a mild afternoon near 65 with late clouds. A few showers tomorrow night, turning colder for Monday. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Swarm Machine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Nuga Radio 92.7. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.
Welcome back to We've Got You Covered Radio, brought to you by Chattanooga Roofing Contractors. That's Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, 423-800-7752. We'd love to be able to help you out with any of your roofing needs and anything that you need done as far as paint or remodeling. Give a call to the same number. That's Chattanooga Paint Pros and Remodeling. Chattanooga Paint Pros and Remodeling, 423-800-7752. And we'll be able to help you out there. So
you've got the market cornered.
Well, we're trying to, start Schrader global worldwide conglomerate. That we're going to be the Jeff Bezos
Prestige Worldwide.
Yeah, see, I'm already the Prestige Worldwide. The boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're trying to do our own Jeff Bezos type takeover of the. Or at least of the Chattanooga market, being able to provide people good service, great prices, those kind of things. And then people can complain about us that we're taking over way too much.
It's a good thing we complained about it.
Yeah, I guess so. So, for your little side hustle,
side hustle.
Your side hustle. Hey, we like people that hustle. So, give a plug to that. What you do.
I do cell phone repair on the side. You can find me here at the studio if you need something fixed.
Right.
Or the Mobile Medics is my
the Mobile Medics.
Yeah, Mobile Medics.
Gotcha.
The mobilemedics.com is our website.
People don't realize that, that's a very good viable option. That these warranties that you might have through your carrier probably aren't all what they're cracked up to be.
Well, a lot of people think that the warranty will cover, I dropped my phone, and then they take it back to Verizon or AT&T or whoever. And then the rep was like, well, Bob, I'm sorry, that's not covered by your warranty.
Yeah.
And then, then it starts this whole big old thing of fuss. And then, carrier can lose a customer from the churn, it's where we kind of come in and what we do, or even anyone in the cell phone repair industry, we can help that customer save money over that deductible. You got to think, if you break an iPhone 6 or iPhone, even a 7 right now, that deductible is anywhere from $149 to $199, where we can come in and replace it a heck of a lot cheaper than that.
like $30-$40 range, that kind of thing.
Depends on the device. Yeah. I mean, right now we're doing like iPhone 7 Plus. I'm just going to throw the number out there. We're doing it for less than $100.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's on a screen,
battery. That's on a screen, batteries. Pretty much on the 7s and lower right now, most repairs can be done for less than $100.
Wow. And that's a lot of times they're deductibles.
If $199, $149, no $199. So
wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. And what the most common repair that you see, I've all heard dropping the phone in the toilet. We don't see as much as we used to.
Right. And the reason behind that on the 6S and above, Apple went in and did a gasket around all the important things of the phone.
Right.
So they don't advertise as water resistant or even waterproof.
Right.
But it gives it a water barrier. So it survives those a little bit easier.
So the dunking in the toilet is survivable.
Survivable most times. Now, the one things you can go wrong on the iPhones is the charge ports. They're not really protected.
Yeah.
But Apple thought ahead. And even like Samsung, I've got the Galaxy S9 Plus. I can take the thing right now and throw it in the toilet.
Yeah. So does it survive the 10 minutes in the microwave after you put it into the toilet? Because I'm not putting that back up into my face.
I wouldn't even put it in the microwave for 3 seconds.
I gotta go and call a plumber now, because that guy gets paid to go in the toilet, especially after my 2 boys. There's one thing that they just always forget to do. So if you drop a phone in that toilet's just got to be thrown away, because I ain't going in after it. Get
some rubber gloves on. Go down after it.
Yeah, it's like the grabber and
what you hope for is that fresh water that comes out the bowl.
Yeah,
what you hope for.
No, the solution to that is you pick the kid up, you hold him upside down over the toilet, and tell him his head's going in it if he doesn't reach in and grab it.
Whenever I first started doing, I've been working in cell phones for quite a while, and whenever I first started working, I worked for Singular, which we all remember that name.
Yeah,
from a million years ago, and I was still one of the new members on the staff. And had a guy walk in and he goes, "Oh, my phone's been wet." Well, I didn't know any better. I took it from him. I said, "Well, what'd you do to it?" I dropped it in the toilet. So from there on out, I never grabbed anybody's phone.
Right.
Never. Even now. When your phone's wet, what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I dropped it in the lake. Okay, now let me get it. Oh,
they're probably lying to you.
Probably. Makes me feel better, though.
And dropping it in our lake, how far off is that from dropping it in the toilet, really?
And not too far.
Not too far. Depends on what area of town you're in.
So, but no, I've seen a lot of just weird stuff. People leave their car on the roof and it takes a tumble down 75. Been run over by a Hummer. I've seen just weird stuff. And you're like, how do you really? How?
Yeah.
How? So.
Yeah. And now, I mean, that's probably the most anxiety causing thing that we run into nowadays is, oh my God, my phone doesn't work.
I panic over 2 things: losing the remote and my phone not working.
Yeah. Because I mean, everything's on it.
Yeah.
Everything's on it.
And, now aside from the studio number here, how many phone numbers do you really remember?
I couldn't tell. I don't know.
You had to turn your shirt around backwards to get your own.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's literally. If you told me that you'd shoot me if I didn't tell you what my brother's phone number is, I'd be shot, because I just know it's, my brother's phone number is Todd on my.
I guess, though, it would be always good to at least know one person's phone number. So that way, if you ever get in downtown in jail, you can be able to call somebody from memory. So
it's I'm calling my wife or my mom, because my mom can call everybody else.
So just remember one number. Remember one number.
Yeah.
So that way you can make that outbound call.
I couldn't tell you my mother-in-law's phone. I mean, I couldn't tell you my 13-year-old daughter's phone number.
I can tell you 2, my dad's and my wife's number. The rest
actually, I don't think I could tell you any of my daughter's phone numbers.
And actually, our sales manager's number here, I know very well too now.
Does that make me a bad father?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, you're okay.
All right. Because I mean, seriously, it's couldn't tell you, could not tell you.
Yeah, there's about 3 numbers I know. It's really about it.
Yeah, and it used to be, I mean, I had numbers, flowing out of my ears.
Like a Rolodex.
I could tell you all my credit card numbers, everything. Couldn't tell you any of it now.
Technology.
Yeah. I don't know that it's technology. I think it's just old.
It could be. But now, in my head right now, there's 2 phone numbers that have popped up that I have no use for. One of them is the old time and temperature phone number, where I grew up at, 455-1212.
Yeah, I just ask Alexa. That's it.
I love those things.
Yeah.
I've got 2 in my house. I've got the bigger one and I've got the dot. And if you've got Spotify, not that you should have Spotify, you should be listening to Nooga Radio all the time.
Right.
But if you're, midnight and you want to listen to, some Marvin Gaye or something just to get the wife in a better mood.
Yeah.
Mine does the whole house audio. So it will play on all the Amazon devices in the house.
Right.
So,
yeah, and those things are, really handy. And there's a lot of good apps like for contractors on your phone that you can pick up. One that we use all the time. It's an alert system that tells you when rain is coming and how far away it is. So for us being up on a roof, usually we won't go put a roof on if it's over a 40% chance of rain.
Right.
We always tell people you might be mad at us because we didn't start the job on the day we were supposed to, but you won't be mad at us because your ceiling is laying on top of your bed. That's a big thing. We want to make sure there's no damage to your house whatsoever. But those kind of things, having tarps available, you get that alert. Hey, there's rain. It is 15 minutes away. It's heading your direction. Those can be that. Technology is, really making it beneficial because, in this area, it is really hard to tell.
I was going to say, I feel like sometimes we live in little Seattle with as much rain as we do get.
Yeah.
And that's got to be difficult on you planning your day and planning your jobs and stuff like that.
I can't tell you how many times we had a job going on that we were supposed to start and we tell the people, hey, I'm sorry, it's an 80% chance of rain today. We're not going to be starting your roof job. And then literally not a drop. It was sunny.
Welcome
not
to
a drop, and we've always said, if you don't like the forecast here, wait 15 minutes.
Right.
And, you can get every single forecast, that's possible. And we've been hearing that this winter is going to be cold and wet.
The big 3 weather personalities have said it's going to be cold. We're going to have a lot of rain and we could have some pretty good snow this year, including a couple of ice events.
So the big 3 have called for snow?
The big 3. So we're not going to get crap.
We're not going to get crap then. So we're perfectly safe.
Yeah. The big 3 finally called and everyone is saying, hey, we're going to have a cold winter and we're going to have snow.
Yeah. I don't even listen to those guys anymore. I just check the app and go from there.
I just check the weather service too and see what the National Weather Service is calling for.
Yeah. We another one we use is Weather Underground.
Yes.
And that's a real good one because it provides a chart with, and if I can't actually read it because my eyes are shot, I can actually see the blue going up and down. So I know.
And some of those apps too will do a future prediction of where the rain. So if you're, if it's over toward Nashville, you can tell it the future and it'll kind of predict where it's going to be in the next 3 hours too. So I'm sure that helps out you guys.
Yeah, it does. It does. So what do you got for the rest of your Thanksgiving holiday?
Well, I'm here today till 7 for Small Business Saturday.
Yeah.
As Sam got the good deal, that deal.
Is he at least going to once he leaves a place, bring you some food by?
This is Sam.
Yeah, you're screwed. So
I couldn't even get anybody to bring me the Starbucks drink of the game.
Really?
From Starbucks, which is 15 minutes up the road. Do you think he's going to bring me food back?
You were abused, man.
I know.
You were abused.
My new business cards will say abused. That's going to be my job title.
Right.
Abused.
All right. I got you. So, when I get done here, I get to go check on on a couple roofs. And then
I heard about the phone call.
Yeah. Well, we always schedule Christmas craft day. And, now we have, we're so busy with all the different businesses. And then, we're trying to take 1 or 2 trips, to see family.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is just to get away, where we can turn a phone off. And, that might be the day that all our phones end up in the toilet when people start calling us.
Just call me when you get it.
But we will, we're going to try to get away for a weekend. And then, of course, doing that, going to Gatlinburg, and then turning around the very next weekend because my daughter's got a wrestling girls wrestling tournament right back in Pigeon Forge. That's always fun.
But fortunately, no, we're short drive from that area.
It's not very far.
So.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But I mean, go visit a place, then to turn around and go right back to the place. It's kind of mind numbing. But when we're have limited time that we can do that. So usually a long weekend like this, we're going to try to do, my wife loves doing crafts with the kids. And of course, we've got a tradition where we do Christmas baking, and it's my job to make divinity. Now, whenever I was making divinity, that would be my job. And then when my dad was still alive, anytime I'd screw it up, always blame it on humidity. If it doesn't work, you always blame it on humidity. And then my dad would ridicule me mercilessly for doing that, because my dad was that kind of ass that he, it was always in fun. If my dad wasn't making fun of you, he didn't like you.
That's right. That's how my dad is.
And so, so that's our job today. But for Christmas Craft Day, there's always something involving glitter. Now, if there's a few things that I cannot stand. One, the sound of somebody brushing their teeth. That is my kryptonite. I mean, I'll fight anything, but I mean, polar bear comes to the front yard. It's going after my family. I will fight it to the death. Right. Somebody shows up to home invade our house, and if they're brushing their teeth while they're doing it, I'm done. I'm in the corner, just like I'll go up and just rock back and forth in the shower. I don't know why it is, but that is the thing that just drives me insane. 2, clowns. I hate clowns.
Didn't see the new It reboot?
Yeah, I saw it, and that wasn't that bad. Okay. I mean, because, it was like CGI and all that. Yes. But anybody that would put that much makeup on their face, there's a problem with. It was like clowns and Tammy Faye Baker.
Oh, gosh.
They would just drive me insane. And, it's like something like in the depth of my soul that just
puts you back in that corner rocking again.
Right. Yeah. And then 3, I hate glitter. I hate glitter.
You got to put sand on that list too with glitter.
No. Sand's fine. Sand's fine because
I can't deal with sand.
No, sand's fine because that meant you usually went to the beach, you did something fun. Glitter, there's no purpose in glitter. All it is there for is to make every single one of us in the house look like we just came from a strip club. And I'm fine with that. If you want to, if the wife's like, hey, let's go to a strip club, like, cool, why not?
But you're the first one in the truck, right?
I'm like, hey, I'm down. Let's go. But hottest stripper in the world
will have glitter.
Covered in glitter? No, thank you. No, thank you. Bring out the day strippers that don't have glitter. You know what I mean? I can't stand this stuff because it's everywhere. And I know by the end of the day, there'll be glitter on the floor. There'll be glitter on the table.
Glitter on you.
Glitter on me. I'll be on the other side of the room, encased in a Tyvek suit with goggles and gloves up to my elbows. I'll have glitter on me. There'll be glitter on the dog. There'll be glitter on my 1-year-old grandson. And everybody else will be happy. And again, I'll be in the shower, rocking back and forth, trying to get that stuff off of me.
And you can't vacuum it up.
You cannot vacuum it up.
You put the vacuum to it, and also you look out and it's just shooting glitter, and you're like, is this a what? Wait, what?
So, what we need to see if we can figure out is, they make all kinds of, like, they make a primer for your ceiling. Like if you paint the ceiling and it goes on purple and then eventually it just disappears and then it's all white, we need to invent a disappearing glitter.
Okay. I can, like, waterproof. Well, no, not waterproof, but
no.
It hits water, it just goes away.
I don't know. I mean, just something that, like, it only shows up for like 15 minutes and then it's gone. But I mean,
like the temporary hair dye,
something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm behind. Who do we got to?
I don't know.
I'm behind this call.
Call Jeff Bezos. I'm sure he can come up with it.
Or if there's any political guy who's listening and you want to ban something, glitter, and like audible teeth brushing. Yes.
And clowns.
And Sharpie markers. I can't stand that squeak noise when the Sharpie's writing.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Blood, guts.
When Jen's writing something in there and that happens, I have to leave the sales office. I can't do it.
Oh, no.
Can't do it.
No, like I said, blood, guts, anything like that, no problem. You know, violence, whatever, I'm fine. Teeth brushing,
you're out.
And glitter.
Teeth brushing and glitter.
Yeah.
That's your peeves.
Those are my peeves. So if
what about
anybody
brushing your teeth with glitter?
Okay. I'm going to lose it here.
He's done, ladies and gentlemen.
If anybody needs like an emergency roof repair during Family Craft Day,
800-7752.
800-7752.
And even if you just need an estimate,
that'll be fine.
Anything to get Scott out of the house.
Yeah. Of course, then the consequences I have to deal with after that.
Better yet, perfect day to hang up Christmas lights. 800-7752. Let Chattanooga Roofing Contractors put your Christmas lights up for you.
Exactly. Exactly. We will not come to your house and clean up glitter, though.
No. It is not Chattanooga glitter removal.
No, that's like hazmat stuff, and we're not equipped.
Nor would you be equipped.
No, not at all.
Hey, I've got some glitter. No, click.
Yeah, not doing it.
Wouldn't even run the estimate on that.
Not even doing it. Not even close.
Well, what about the little fine material that's on top of your shingle?
Oh, that stuff's fine. That stuff just embeds it, like the fiberglass that's in the shingle. That embeds in your skin, and it actually like itches for like days on end. That's fine.
Okay, but
doesn't bother me at all.
The hell with glitter?
No.
Okay,
because glitter doesn't stick to your face.
It sticks to everything.
It sticks to. I mean, well, excuse me. The granules don't stick to your face. Glitter sticks to your face. Yes, it's everywhere.
Glitter is probably the most worthless thing.
So when you see my grandson today, or tomorrow, or next week, we did not take him to a strip club. That was just Family Crafts Day.
Is that your excuse too?
That is exactly the excuse.
Oh.
Now, if I'm covered in glitter, whether I did or not, I'll be like, yeah, I went to a strip club.
Well, yeah, you've got that persona.
Yeah.
Did we really just have a 2-minute conversation on glitter?
I think we did. I think we've jumped the shark now.
I think it's time to go.
I think it is. So anyway,
we've been here too long today, sir. We've been here too long.
I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. Remember, the point of all of this, whether it's home or anything like that, it's building a home around it. Spend time with your family and your friends. I know this is a weekend where everybody wants to go out and shop and save a lot of money. But if you're not spending time with your family and friends, what's it worth? So when you're out there and you're looking to do home improvement, remember, it's all about building a home. Join us here next week when we have a guest where we actually talk about actual subjects. Really? Right here on Nuga Radio.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's